Alright, Schlockmeister fans, going back a ways on this one. I haven't seen it in almost 30 years. It's called The Reflecting Skin, Viggo Mortensen. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with a kid who found himself a giant frog.
Wonderful frog!
I wonder what he's going to do with that frog.
Where'd you get it?
Well, clearly you put a thing in its ass and blow it up. That's what you do. And you lay it in the road for the unsuspecting woman who comes by. This is the kid's dad.
Get in there, Pop. What's it about, Pop?
Vampire, son.
Any vampires around these parts, Pop?
Wouldn't be at all surprised.
Now he thinks the neighbor is.
You've been exploding frogs again?
No.
I heard different.
She lied!
Who lied?
The English lady!
I can see through you into the garage beyond. You go around there and say you're sorry.
So he goes to apologize.
Come in. I won't bite. His face was bright red,
She talks about her husband.
tongue blue, eyes going pop. He'd hung himself, you see.
And then she says something interesting.
Oh, no, I'm older than that. I'm 200 years old.
He thought she was
Can't
50.
feel my wrinkles.
She's a box of trinkets about her from her husband.
Oh! It's him.
She's got the smell of him in there. He's had enough of this freakiness and takes off with this whaling harpoon thing she gave him.
She's a vampire, and she drinks blood to make her young. She's afraid to look into mirrors because her reflection's gone, and she hates sunlight.
Later on, he and his friends sneak into her house and trash her bedroom. But she catches them. She was enjoying some alone time when they stumbled down the steps. A little while later, he goes to get some water, and inside there,
Even?
he finds his dead friend.
Now,
And then he
let's
gets
go over
interviewed
this
by the
again,
police.
shall we?
Well, the sheriff was accusatory towards the father because apparently they caught the father years earlier with a 17-year-old boy in the barn, so they think he's a pervert. Although pretty sure Dad didn't do it. But he does set himself in flames. Enter Viggo Mortensen, his older brother, who's come home now since Pa's dead.
You hungry, Cam?
Like here.
He wants to know if his dad touched him inappropriately.
No, he didn't do much touching. Come on, Cam.
Cameron takes a fancy to her.
Cam,
Get out of here.
don't talk to her. Beat it! That hurts, eh? The vampire? Yeah. Did she bite his neck? Oh, I don't know.
So the two boys are in a barn and they find something.
It smells like fish.
He takes it home. He thinks it's an angel. He thinks it's his friend Abel who's
I know.
found in
But
that water
I'm
trough.
watching her. Don't worry.
Meanwhile, Cam and the lady, whose name is Dolphin Blue, by the way, turn it up a notch. His brother's peeking in at them too. When things start to get a little physical, he takes off running, scared to death for his brother. Meanwhile, here's the real source of the evil in the area. That's his friend who discovered the angel with him in the barn being kidnapped. he finds his brother's hair on a comb, and since it's coming off because he's getting older, he assumes the vampire lady's doing it.
Look.
And you believe
Meanwhile, the father of the first kid who died, Avon,
Pervert.
what?
thinks the kid has something to do with it. Or the wife, or the dead husband. Cam ended up cutting his hand, getting into a fight with the guy. Dolphin comes over, of course. He's not happy about this.
I am.
Now, of course, the other kid's missing.
He's hiding my Jim.
You're hiding him, boy.
No.
Full of symptoms.
Unfortunately for him, the body was hidden in their little shack.
What's killing all the children?
Who?
Dolphin.
What do you mean?
She's a vampire. She's a vampire. I'm gonna kill you. I'm warning.
Shut up! Little bastard, I love her! You understand? I love her, and she loves me!
Just pray
So the two are planning to go off with each other.
for someone to love you. Because if you loved, you'll still be young.
But then she hitches a ride with the evil kids, or the evil men in the area.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it, Seth?
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Don't look like nothing. Why don't you go play with your friends?
They're all dead.
Then they see the sheriff's car down the road. They go to investigate. We have another dead body. But this time it's Dolphin. Okay, let's talk about The Reflecting Skin, starring Viggo Mortensen and Lindsay Duncan, introducing Jeremy Cooper. So, this is a movie that came out in 1990 or 1991, I'm not sure. It was recommended to me by this cool teacher I had when I was, I think, my first year in college, I think. Mr. Emmett, Paul Emmett. But anyway, I don't know what to make of this film. I taped it because it showed up on cable around that exact same time. So I taped it, I watched it, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I don't quite get it. I saw a review on IMDb where they talked about it. It's like, you either love it or you hate it. I don't know if I actually love it or hate it, but I think I kind of am okay with it. It's a strange film. It takes place in the 1950s, rural, I don't know, Idaho or something, I think is where they're supposed to be. And some kids start dying, young kids, maybe 10 years old or so, 9, 10 years old. And one of the kids, our main star here, there's this woman, this British woman who was moved in next door, and his dad is reading a book about vampires and tells him what vampires are and stuff. He automatically thinks the woman next door is a vampire. Now, the first scene in this movie is this kid and his two friends, they find this gigantic frog or bullfrog or something, and they put like this stick with a hole in it up its ass, and then they blow in it like a straw and blow it up so it's gigantic. And then, of course, they leave it on the road. The woman comes by. She looks down and is like, what the hell is that? And then they use a slingshot to blow the frog up, exploding frog. A huge bloody mess all over this poor woman. So anyway, he's got to go over to her house to apologize later on. And he does so. And while she's in there, she talks about her husband who died not too long ago. He hung himself in the barn. And then she says, how old do you think I am? And I think he says 50 or 55, something like that. And she says, I'm 250 years old or 200 years old, whatever it was over 200. And he doesn't know what to make of that. And I'm not sure what to make of that. But so right away he thinks she's the vampire. She's got this box full of like keepsakes from her husband and a lock of his hair. She has something that has his smell all over it. So he thinks that she's sucked all the life out of him, and he's now dead, and she keeps his trinkets in a box. Now, one of his friends, his kid's friends, ends up dead, and they find the body on his farm. And the police come to investigate. Turns out the kid's father, the guy who was talking about the vampires, had a run-in with a 17-year-old boy like years earlier, like a homosexual thing in the barn. So the cop thinks he's a pervert and he might be the one who killed this little boy. Don't think he did it though, but he goes out and puts gas all over himself and drinks some of it, and then he lights himself on fire and dies. So he's dead, and then Viggo Mortensen, the older brother, he comes home to spend time with the family now that Pa is gone. So meanwhile, one of the other kid's friends gets kidnapped by these youths, I don't know, 20-year-old youths in this car. He ends up dead later on. So it seems clear that there's no vampire. These boys are killing smaller boys. Viggo Mortensen ends up falling for the neighbor lady. Her name is Dolphin Blue. And, the little kid keeps warning his older brother not to go out with her because she's a vampire, blah, blah, blah. And he says, "You're crazy, let me alone. We're going to go off and be together. We're in love." And then she ends up getting a ride with those same hoodlums earlier, and then she ends up dead. They find her body in a field, and then that's kind of how our movie ends. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know if this was a horror or how you would describe this thing. It's an odd, strange little film, but I think it was decent. It's. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was boring. It's not something I really had a desire to watch again. I remember it's been like 28, 29 years since I saw this, and I remembered it mostly, and I had really no desire to watch it again. But I picked it up, so I figured I'd better watch it and review it. So, but. One brief nude scene in this movie, Viggo Mortensen's butt. I don't think there was anything else. Just a strange film. I don't know what it says here. Eerie, unsettling, an amazing film. I will go with that. It's eerie and unsettling. I don't know. Was it a horror? Was she a vampire? I don't think so. She was out in the daylight and stuff, but I don't know. It's just a strange film. It's very like a dreamlike sequence. And then, of course, he found this dead body in the garage, or the barn, I should say, of like a newborn infant. Had been there for who knows how long, a couple decades, who knows. He thought it was an angel and like the reincarnation of his first dead friend, so he took it home and was sleeping with it. I don't know, just really strange. But anyway, that's The Reflecting Skin. If you got some deeper thing that you can explain to me about it, please do, and leave some comments. And you can get this DVD. I think it's on Blu-ray as well. This might be a Criterion. I'm not sure if it is now. But anyway, check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about The Reflecting Skin. Watch it. Bye.